This is usually where I say something witty about the movie we're about to talk about, but it's Black Panther. It speaks for itself. My name is Steven, and we're talking flicks. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Talking Flix. And today we're discussing the only movie worth watching this weekend, Black Panther. As you can see, my co-host for the day here, Mayhem Mike,
Hello,
is
colors.
wearing his dashiki to support Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda forever.
Guys, needless to say, I think by now everyone's seen how much money this movie has made. And it just shows it's a good movie. And white people cry.
Yo, not only is it a great movie, let's
Yeah, correct. So let me take that back. It's a great movie.
It's a great movie, White Colonizers. But what, first of all, it's not a comedy per se. A lot of people get that mixed up. It has comedy tendencies, definitely, but it's a drama, and it's not your regular typical superhero. You know, the guy's not 30-something years old dealing with life trouble. The guy's a king. The man, T'Challa, is a king dealing with worldly...
The richest comic book character across any universe on top of that.
And the top 8, they keep changing him, but he's one of the most intelligent men on the Marvel Universe.
His entire family lineage, essentially, is like full of geniuses.
The great thing that some people miss is that, ironically, his nemesis is just as smart as him. It's kind of like the Batman and Bane effect, whereas the actual nemesis is a little bit more way developed and doesn't have an addiction. Sorry.
But yeah, this movie, I can honestly say out of all the Marvel movies that I've watched, it had me like adrenaline peaked. My heart was racing out of sheer excitement of all the action scenes and all the storylines that I had. Like, there was never a dull moment in this movie where I was just like, oh my god, is this movie over yet? No, it's still, come on, I need more. I could literally feel my heart racing, especially in like all the action sequences, just how beautifully shot it was.
Yes, the graphics on this was superb. I think he got a budget of like $200 million, which is like the first ever for a black director and writer, which is awesome. You know, he mastered it. It was beautiful. It all flowed. Every villain, every person, let me say that, was believable. That's the key thing.
It was a realistic story. That's what it was. It was a realistic story that it dealt with so many social aspects that are going on in today's world right now. And I think we'll get a little more in detail a little bit later, but it was relatable. It was relatable, and when you talk about comic movies, that's not a word usually used too easily.
Well, let's talk about Marvel for a little bit. Like, Marvel comic book movies they've been entertaining, but not really relatable. Like, take for instance, Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Great film, came out of nowhere. Some people didn't even know who the Guardians of the Galaxy were. And then you had the follow up, and it was still well accepted. It didn't have the same impact, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? Not many people can, I don't know, relate to flying at the speed of light or whatever. You know, I can't. Not now.
Everyone can relate to listening to Walkmans.
You know, hey.
All right.
Yeah, you know what?
I mean, some. People can relate to putting on headphones, at least.
Yeah, you're right. To this day, you're right.
There's a little bit of relatability in there.
Right? And you look at, like, Thor Ragnarok. You know, you look at Civil War. You look at the Avengers. Like, you know, you kind of, you're cool with these characters, but then you get Black Panther, where a king is dealing with real life issues, not just outside of protecting his own country, but real life issues as far as his family goes, having to deal with what we call like sins of the past, sins of the father, really, and which he's inherited.
Which is a great theme within Marvel itself. The sins of the father always come to the son, and I think that the one thing for me is that this movie really goes to show where a lot of movies capture the social aspects of society when they're actually shot. If you take into consideration Star Wars, you know, it had the social aspects of the 70s. You had the prequel trilogy also had the social aspects of everything that was going on at that time, and this one as well. I think as far as release time, there's never been a better time to release a Black Panther movie with how heated the topics of discussion in this movie were.
So I want to build upon that. That's actually a great point. So we're dealing with modern day issues. We're dealing about all social norms. Because I don't know if you realize that if you watch the Black Panther movie, this is not a spoiler. All the bodyguards in that movie are women. There is no male bodyguard. Like, sure, there are male leaders, there's women leaders, female leaders, but all the bodyguards who are like the
strongest,
best fighters,
the royal guard,
are women. And they're just as strong and stubborn. Even one of the greatest spies, I'll let you find out, is a woman. Mm-hmm. And it's just as strong and stubborn as he is. And you know what? There's no, yeah, you're the king, but we're still equal as far as human beings go. I still speak to you with respect. I respect what you do. You contribute a lot, which is a big topic here, and it's like the norm. It's like, yeah, I'm used to it. Yeah. It's generations of this.
Mm-hmm. And even the tribe that was hidden in the mountains, I thought that maybe that they were going to come out and show a side of like, men are the ones who are in power there. But no, they respected every single woman that they came across. They didn't necessarily respect the king because they didn't like the way he was ruling. Right. But they still respected him, and they respected the women in his family. And even later on, if you paid attention during the final battle scene, they had women warriors as well. They didn't show as many. Yeah. But they were there, and they were kicking ass just as much as any other woman in this movie.
It was one of the first fighters to show in the screen. It was a woman, actually, if I'm not mistaken. She broke through the crowd. We're not going to say what she did. Yeah. But definitely, that's and isn't that crazy and ironic in a sense? The tribe that doesn't mess, let's just say the one part of the country that doesn't mess with the full continent, if you will, still had so much respect that look at what they went through. Look at the trial. And everything was just like, all right, cool. We lost. We still don't like you, but we respect you. That doesn't happen now.
But yeah, I think that no matter what, it actually showed, as far as their culture, that no matter what, even if we don't like what's going on, we're going to support our leader. Even the general, later on, something happens, and she still respected the king no matter what. It shows that role of leaders, like, we're going to respect the hierarchy. Even if we don't agree with it, we're still one nation, and we have to come together no matter what.
And that's a very conflicting and common issue. Do you respect the king, whether it be an actual king or a head of figure, or do you respect the kingdom? Correct. The legacy, what it means. You know what I'm saying? And for every character, it was different, but there were reasons why. Mm-hmm. There were general reasons why. I'm not going to go into because I don't want to spoil the movie, but it made sense. Like, this movie was the best. It was fit for this generation. It upholds the standards for Marvel movies to come, in a sense, because it's a different take, and as well as for African Americans who are looking at this. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen it. They were talking about Birth of a Nation. They're talking about all these other movies and whatnot. You got to understand, for African Americans, this is the first movie where the main cast is all black. As I said, the writer, the director is all black, and the themes that are actually shown in this, it's not that he's not an aggressive person, because he is aggressive, but he's not aggressive in like a neighborhood, like a hood. He's not aggressive in like selling drugs. The guy is a ruler. He's a king. He's dealing with a kingdom that has been freshly pressed on it, because this takes place after Civil War. Onto him, they've been passed on.
It's a recovering nation after the loss of the king. Now, let me ask you this question. Now, with Wakanda being in hiding, do you think that mirrors black people who don't get involved, who just stay in the shadows saying, I don't want to get involved altogether? And it's really sending a message of, if you have the resources to help,
it's interesting,
come out and help?
It's interesting that you said that, because one of my co-hosts on the Last Stop on L, Danny Ocean, was like, he goes, this movie also portrays how black people must feel towards Africans, in which they feel alienated. We sometimes forget we were part of the same struggle. Maybe we let word of mouth and other things get in between us, but we're still here. And it takes a toll on us, because here it is. We are the same people. We want to help. And Michael B. Jordan is such a great villain. Like if Heath Ledger had never made the Joker, he would have been number one. I'm so serious. Like
yeah, I know, I agree, because he was a well-rounded character, and it was a well thought out, well acted, just well written overall character with a perfect backstory. He
believable, relatable.
He came from a situation where he grew up on his own, and he made something of himself. Like, he is, like you mentioned before, he is just as smart as the main character of the movie. And he had such a well thought out plan. That's why it was so successful. He didn't go in there just for the sake of going there. He had a purpose. And even behind that purpose, there was another purpose to, where goes the theme of, we need to go out and help, Black people need to go out and help each other versus trying to keep each other. Maybe it's not the most ideal situation, but it's all about coming together regardless to come together as a nation to just grow and thrive.
So that's let's talk about villains for one quick second, right? When we talk about villains, the greatest villains generally are psychopathic. You can't justify them. They're just like off the wall. There's a reason why they're that way.
There's a method to the madness, essentially.
Right. But there's a mystery around it, right? But all the other villains fall into the line of, I want to rule the world, destroy the universe, and they have nothing afterwards.
Well, they want chaos, essentially.
Right. Whereas Eric Killmonger, who's the villain of this movie, had a purpose, had a reason, if you want to call a plan, he had a plan, and a justifiable one. Like, if you listen to this man and his reasons, you definitely, first of all, can we talk about how great he is as a villain? Only because he had his own theme music, and it was apparent at all times, and it had bass.
Yep. Like, who was going to appear on screen as soon as those drums hit? Like,
yes.
Killmonger.
So it was dope. And wow.
Well, not to mention the soundtrack. Kendrick Lamar did an amazing job with the soundtrack overall.
TDE did that thing, for sure. What I'm interested in is if they definitely pick up Black Panther 2, because I know they're in talks about it.
I don't see as to why it shouldn't.
You'd be surprised. But I'd be happy with it. I'd be happy with either way. If they made a second one, I'm supportive. The first one is definitely being bought on DVD, Blu-ray. So
by the way, I hope they have the 4-hour director's cut, because I would sit there and watch it. You know what? I could have sat there for longer. 2.5 hours passed by, but if another hour and a half passed by, I would have been just as happy, enjoying every last second of it.
It doesn't pass by fast, but it just like encompasses. You're so into it. You understand? Like, I agree with you. Give me another 2 hours. Go ahead. I got nowhere else to be. That's important right now. Go ahead. And if I was smart, I would have brought a notepad. I would have wrote down everything that was funny, because it has its up and down. It's got drama. It's got great drama that's believable. You see the passion. You even see comedy. You see comedy. You see. I'm not going to ruin it for you.
But you
see a line that's been really good on Vine. That's like, oh my God, I can't. I want to say it so bad. But it's just like,
the Vine's dead, man. Vine's dead.
It doesn't matter. Vine set the trend, because you know what? A lot of Viners became YouTube stars.
But they had some great one-liners that just like had the theaters cracking up. And like I said, I won't say any lines here and there. I had a favorite one given by the Great Ape. It just had me dying. And just to go, you said there was a $200 million budget for this movie.
Yes.
And a lot of the shots were just so beautiful. The choreography that they did in these fight scenes. And I don't know about you, my favorite just action sequence in general, it was split between two, but the entire thing took place in South Korea. Right? From a fight scene within the den to the chase scene afterwards. But that fight scene in the den was shot so beautiful. They shot the entire fight scene like if it was one continuous shot, moving the camera from a bottom floor to a top floor, back down to the bottom floor, and just, I mean, I've gotten into editing a lot, but I could tell where those edits were.
Yeah.
But it was, for anyone who isn't paying attention, who isn't like, has the eye like I do, and other people who are into editing, you would see it flawlessly. There's only one other show that has had, an amazing shot like that, which is Daredevil. Where they did the entire fight scenes going up and down stairs and down hallways, those were actually all done in one shot.
Right.
But this one, the way it was edited, it just flowed. And even with special effects that they added in between, it was very seamless. Like you went
Oh,
from Chad Boswick standing right here, jumping up on the wall, and just being switched over to him being real, and the entire middle part was CGI. But it was just done so quick and so nicely that visually it was just beautiful.
so I will say this about the whole movie, especially when they focus on Wakanda. I don't think you can really tell what's CGI and what's not unless you have that eye, because it, like you said, it flowed seamlessly. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, after watching this movie, Wakanda's a real place for me. Like it exists. Like
It's out there somewhere.
yeah, you know. But okay, I'm gonna
I,
go ahead and agree with you.
or as Black Panther put it, T'Challa put it when they were entering Wakanda for the first time.
Mm,
This never gets old.
it
And
doesn't.
when they go through the dome, and they just reveal how technologically advanced, how beautiful, how clean the city is, just overall, it was just like
Now, was
wow.
it clean? Oh my god! So really quickly, I was just gonna say I agree that after the den scene on the bridge was probably my favorite action scene. Not to say that there weren't a lot, but that bridge scene,
Oh, true.
especially
It was
especially
part of
when
the
the
chase.
general.
Yeah.
I want to let you guys find out, especially when the general caught that spear, because we all see that in the commercial,
Yes.
but you want to see why she does it, it's totally believable, and when she
And
lands, and the reason why, like yo, and
well, I mean, as we already said, that the women played a major role in this movie, and they were
major,
just as badass as the men, doing as much damage, kicking as much ass.
yep,
And in that scene right there, that the general, actually, I think one of the, without spoiling too much, but the general, as we already know, has her head shaved and tattooed. She's wearing a wig, and I just found it absolutely hysterical where she's walking and she's like, I can't wait to take this thing off. And
yeah,
during one of the fight scenes, she actually takes it and just throws it at one of the guys,
yep.
and he just like starts suffocating and falls over.
It's a nice little jab at
Yeah.
weaves on women, and it's just like, you know, like it's done tastefully. That's the greatest
Yeah.
part. Wakanda as a country is so beautiful, and you know, yeah, it's CGI, but honestly, if it was like a ride on Six Flags or even Disney World, you would honestly believe like you're
Yeah.
actually in a spacecraft. It is totally believable. The people there believable. They all flow. The technology is there. Like the technology on how they answer their phones or communicators. Come on, I don't want to say what it is, but instead of an actual yes, on a hand, on a hand, and it made so much sense to me. Why
And
don't we think of that?
and I mean, the cast was just absolutely amazing. Everyone did a phenomenal job.
Yes.
Chad Boswick, Lupita Nyong'o,
Mhm.
Michael B. Jordan, Forrest
Woo, I go.
Whitaker. I mean, everyone just did an absolute amazing job. And we were discussing prior to the video. I still say I kind of miss Samuel L. Jackson being in this, not just because he's black, but because
That
he
was
is part of the Marvel Universe. And we haven't seen him in a movie for a while. So unless he was like up in the background somewhere, we just like on a quick scene that we
okay.
didn't see him, maybe he was there. But I know I kind of missed him in this. You know,
With these, with
where
the
was Jamie Foxx?
with the exception of the post credit scene, which I'm not gonna say, um, I think it's really great that they only kept one Marvel well, the same group of Marvel characters in it. There was no cross movie. There wasn't Iron Man. Sorry, there was no Hulk. There was
They let them
Scarlet
be.
Witch.
They let it was a true standalone movie.
And that's what makes it unique and ideal. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Samuel L. Jackson's character Nick Fury is always a man of mystery. For all I know, he could be on what was it before he was on an asteroid floating a satellite asteroid around the Earth. You know, monitoring things. Remember that at one point. So let him say where he's at. I think this was good just as it is. I'm really hoping they bring back Eric Killmonger in maybe like a third movie or something. Like, oh my god,
He
what
was
about the
just
ancestors?
overall great
You know
character,
what's
and
crazy?
I wouldn't even mind watching an entire movie about him alone. Just
I agree.
that's how well I
Origin,
mean they gave the character an entire background. You know, they covered it, you know, in full
yes,
detail,
believe.
like who he was, why he was doing what he was doing, what his motivations were behind everything. It's one of the most well developed and detailed villains that you'll ever see, and I think across any of the Marvel movies up until this point, because every other one is like, okay, well here's the motivation, here's why they want to do it, but it's like, okay, I guess that he wants to destroy the universe or something like that. But Killmonger, his motivations were, I want to say realistic. Again, you know, I think that's the one word that I think we keep on coming up here is
Right,
realistic and believable and
right.
understandable.
That's what made Joker, like, so great because it was believable. Granted, acting was on par. He did so many great things, improv. But you believe this man was like. To be honest with you, I watched that movie and forgot there was Batman. Like, the whole movie was
Yeah.
about Batman. That's how great it was. But okay, we're talking about the Black Panther. What I will say, because it's hard for me to say this, that the movie wasn't perfect, but it was really good. It's damn perfect, which is ironic because I can't wait to see when they do come out with a perfect number 2. We didn't see the Panther God. Mm-hmm. We didn't see the Panther God. Excuse me. We saw representatives of Panthers, and I'm not going to say too much because I feel like that's revealed it. But you actually didn't see the Panther Goddess, and I'm looking forward to that.
I mean, there's a lot more they can explore, and I think, Black Panther is just like Guardians of the Galaxy at this point. There are core fans who actually know who he is and what the background is. I'll be straight honest with you. I don't know too much of the background of the Black Panther outside of what the mainstream is actually known, but I know that this movie has made it so I want to go out there and find out more about his history, find out more of those villains, and see if all those other villains are just as developed as they did with Killmonger. Yeah. And just to touch upon the actual comic book aspects of everything, where the hell is the Reality Stone?
They're not going to reveal that to us. First of all, Civil War. The Civil War.
Wait, okay. By the way, I'm sorry. That was kind of a spoiler because I know people were expecting the Reality Stone to be in there. It doesn't take away from the movie. It doesn't affect anything. You can still enjoy the movie, but where the hell is the Reality Stone?
Maybe we saw it, but we didn't pay attention to so many things because I know they dropped a lot of Easter eggs that we may have missed, but especially at the end. But I don't know, man. I don't know, like. Because Thanos is not coming to Wakanda for vibranium. He's not. He's coming for the stone.
But as I see it, here was a theory that, well, at least my theory, and I think a lot of people agreed, is that the Reality Stone was actually what was keeping Wakanda hidden. But nope, that's just vibranium technology.
Nope, that's always been vibranium.
Vibranium, man, that's a versatile metal, man. It's not just metal. It can power your cars. It can power your phones. It can power your city. It'll power your trains. It can do everything.
Please tell us it's a 2-part. Please tell us it's a 2-part because you cannot do that in 2 hours. 2 hours and a half is a start.
It has to be a 3-hour movie easily. And you know what? If
make me a hobbit.
If Black Panther was 4 hours and now dropped down to 2.5 hours, first off, there isn't a part 2. Because I've already looked it up. It used to be part 1, part 2. And my question was, how are they going to do part 1? And are they going to have Ant-Man and Wasp in the middle? And there's no time going in between? And then part 2 is going to be somewhere down the rest of the year? No, there are no other... After Ant-Man and Wasp, there are no other Marvel movies coming out. Unless you count Venom, which is coming out in October. But that's supposed to be a separate universe altogether. I mean, they haven't really declared whether it is, whether it isn't. I mean, that's the discussion for another day. But as of right now, out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the ones that are confirmed, Ant-Man and Wasp is the last movie for the year.
I don't... Okay. It has to be 2 parts. There's no way that you can stuff all that information, story development. Like, I have so much hope.
We will see. And I think that hopefully that's not the one that's going to disappoint everyone. There's such high expectations over a decade building up to this one movie.
Thor Ragnarok revitalized the Thor series. Or at least ended it on a great chapter. I don't know if he's coming back to be a Thor chapter.
And hopefully Infinity War doesn't kill the Avengers. Because there were a lot of people who did not like Age of Ultron.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Can we have this one serious discussion about voice actors? Now everybody knows Mark Hamill, voice actors for animations. Can we just talk really quickly about how voice actors are I feel like they're kind of looked over. I mean, they're taken for what they are, but I don't see a lot of people doing it. You understand? More people like to act. Here's why I say voice acting needs to be taken seriously, and maybe I'm wrong, but I doubt it. You have Scarlett Johansson and her. You have Tom Hardy as Bane. You have Tom Holland, the new Spider-Man, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it's Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
These actors, with the exception, all right, Scarlett Johansson, acting-wise, facial, she's working on it. She could be better, a lot better.
She's got her moments. It's depending on the role. She does better in certain roles. She does better in others. Let's not even talk about Ghost in the Shell again.
Okay, but oh my god. So, but if you watch her, you will fall in love with her as a program. You will fall in love with her as a program. I'm not going to reveal too
Because
much if you have.
it's all about developing emotion when you're not even on the screen. It's all the emotion you deliver in the voice.
Tom
And
Hardy as Bane literally had his face like this, and you were still able to feel his anger, his like you feel
well, I
intimidated by
mean,
him.
I
Tom
think there's one. You mentioned Mark Hamill, and there when Mark Hamill went for the Joker role, everyone
Hardy.
told him, "No, you can't do this. You're the wholesome person from Star Wars. You're Luke Skywalker. You
Right, right.
can't play Joker." But I mean, he is the Joker, man.
He is.
Like,
He,
if you look at all the incarnations of the Joker in general, and I'm pretty
yeah.
sure you've seen the meme online that shows the psychopath, the thinker, the businessman. They've shown very different iterations of the Joker through animations and through the movies, but Mark Hamill's Joker is the only one that is well rounded, and that's all a voice
Now check
and
this out.
writing, but the
Yeah,
voice
no,
alone.
I agree. I agree. Now Tom Holland as a Spider-Man, I believe is about to blow us all away. I'm hoping he does. He plays Spider-Man. Quick tidbit about Spider-Man. They drew like this is how far ahead Jack Kirby and Stan Lee was. They drew Spider-Man with the mask on because they wanted their younger readers to envision themselves,
Mm.
boy, girl, ethnicity, whatever, as Spider-Man or even Spider-Woman as years will come.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine that. Like you look at Batman, you think of I can't be Batman, I can't be Superman, but Spider Man, that's somebody I can be.
It's not
Spider Woman,
every man, you know.
right? So check this out. The problem with Spider Man is translated on the big screen is showing his emotion while his mask is on. Now they've recently kind of got rid of that problem because with technology,
Yeah,
they explain
CGI. You
right,
put the
so,
dots
right,
on.
right. But you still have to hear it in his voice and actions when he has the mask on. He at least spends 40% of the movie in a mask, at least. And I think I'm lowballing him. Honestly, I think it's more like 60. But whatever. So think about that. We're watching somebody in a mask emote. I
I
want you
mean,
to understand. This is
that's why it boils down to what's this guy's name? First Spider-Man.
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire was a great Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield was a great Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Tom Holland is giving the balance of both parts.
He's gonna blow our minds. He's gonna blow. I mean,
All right. All
maybe I'm.
right. We kind of went off on a tangent a little bit there,
Okay.
but I mean, guys, just Black Panther. It was. I honestly have to say it's my favorite Marvel movie to date,
I think it's a movie you need
and
to see
I
twice.
really enjoyed Thor Ragnarok, but this one, that relatability, that realism is what. It's the reason that it's making all the money that it's making. It's not
Oh,
just people coming out to support.
361
It
million.
was worth it.
Would you say this is one of those movies you have to see more than once?
I would watch it a dozen times, man. And
Is
I
there
think
another,
that adrenaline that I feel while watching this
mhm.
movie will be there every single time.
Is there another Marvel movie you think would beat this right now?
I'm hoping Infinity War,
Okay, that's the easy answer. Yeah, you're right.
right? I'm hoping. Do I actually think it's going to beat it? I actually don't think it will.
My favorite movie so far before Black Panther was actually The Winter Soldier, Captain America: The Winter Soldier,
True.
because that's realistic too. You know what I'm saying? Here it is. We had Sony with Wolverine. Wolverine's biggest enemy was time. He's out here dying on us. And Captain America and the Winter Soldier's actual true enemy was the government,
Yeah.
and that's a realistic thing
You
for.
know what? You know what? I Marvel movie, but not really Marvel movie. If you want to count the MCU, I'm gonna have to go with other than Black Panther, Logan.
Mhm. Okay,
Them feels, man. Them
like
feels.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Okay,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. Exactly. Forgot about them feels, man.
I'm gonna go ahead and stick with Winter Soldier. All right, because the way they did Nick Fury, which is probably why his ass is hiding. You know what I'm saying? That's why we can't find him. Yeah,
All
but
right.
he's hoping Infinity War. Guys, check it out. Pay attention. Listen, don't. If you're gonna use the bathroom, don't buy anything to drink or eat.
Yeah.
You
Don't, yeah. If you're
anything to eat.
don't you don't want to miss a single second.
I'm
Every
so
single last second it counts, man. Every last emotion, every last scene, it just really one thing just drives to the next, and it was absolutely like you said, not a perfect movie, but it's damn near perfect, and every sequel does tend to improve, especially the Marvel Universe does tend to improve over the next one. So you can only imagine how much better even Black Panther 2 is going to be. There was people, they said, there was said that people were walking out of theaters crying. I think
Yes.
people just about soaked in the next one.
No, listen, man. Everybody on that I
But I
know
mean, just
has
just
talked
really
about.
quickly, I'm pretty sure some ladies left the theater soaked after seeing Michael B. Jordan.
Oh my God! Let me tell you. He took off that shirt. Them lady was like, "Woo!" I was like, "Ma'am, this is a PG movie. Where are your parents?" But yeah, Michael B. Jordan. Remember he left Creed, and he said he still keeps the diet and the training still.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I need to join
I
that
know,
gym.
right? No, let's start acting. Let's start acting. They force us
You
to work
know,
out. They pay us to work out.
I'm Apollo's best friend.
All right, man. Anything else you have to tell everyone about this movie?
Definitely check it out, guys. Let us know what you think. We're definitely interested. Look out for the Easter eggs, and also, this is big, big, big. Tell us if you think Michael B. Jordan's Eric Killmonger was right or wrong.
True. Yeah, hey, guys, in the comment below, let us know, was Killmonger right?
You know, they had a shirt. Magneto was right. Maybe Killmonger. Maybe Killmonger next.
Let's make that shirt. Guys, we're going to come up with that shirt and start selling it. Keep an eye out for the description below. We're going to come up with that idea right now. And guys, also, keep an eye out for Mike, Last Stop on the L.
Definitely.
We also got a couple new episodes of Nerds of the Round coming. And guys, if you're a fan of us, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook. We got a new Discord channel if you want. Look up Geeks Unlimited on Discord. Come join the conversations that we're having there. And guys, until the next one.
Peace.